All right, awesome. Hello, everyone, and welcome to 100 Coffees. My name is Angela Gardner, and I am one of the founders here. And we are so excited that you are tuning in today. We have some really exciting things happening in the coffee world, and we are so excited to have a special guest today. But before we introduce our special guest, I want you to meet our leadership team. So let's start with Heather.
Hey everybody, I'm Heather. I live outside of Nevada here in outside of Las Vegas here in Henderson, and I'm an author and writer, and I'm going to help you guys with all of your writing needs. So make sure you reach out and let me know.
Awesome. How about Devra and Ray?
I'm Deborah Betts, and I'm a speaker and author and a wellness architect, and I help you reframe your health so you can go out and do all those things that you have passion to do.
And I'm Ray Betts, her other half.
Better half.
I do send out cards so we can tell people how much we love them.
And Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy Gerard, and I am a sales trainer and life improvement advocate. I do several businesses, and I am located in the Central Valley of California.
Awesome. All right, so that's our leadership team. So if you have questions about anything we talk about today or anything coffee related, these are your people to chat with. But we have just recently partnered with an amazing company, and so we're going to introduce you to the founder of that company and let him share about himself and about the company and how we are going to be connected. So Paul, would you like to tell us a bit about you?
Yes, thanks, ladies. Thanks, Angela, and the leadership team. Firstly, I'll give you a bit of background so you know a bit about me. My name's Paul Collins. I'm age 64. I've been married 40 years to my wife, Pam. I don't know how she's put up with me, but she has. I've got two boys. Well, I say boys, they're actually men now, My eldest, Scott, he's actually a cancer research scientist, and he lives in Boston, in Massachusetts. So we're over there. We try and make it about 3 times a year, And my other son, Ben, the youngest son, he lives probably about 20 miles away. He's married, and he's a national accounts manager with a company. I've got 2 granddaughters, and I've got a golden Labrador dog who's completely bonkers, but everybody seems to love him. My background is financial services. I mean, I started in banking, and I ran a city centre branch for about 8 years, and then actually moved into finance and broking, basically. I got involved with my current and one MLM company some 19 years ago. It's a UK company, only operates in the UK. I work this with my wife, Pam. We hold a senior distributor position. It's a British PLC on the FTSE 250. We have, across the UK, thousands of customers and distributors. And our business is about saving people money, on energy, telephone, that's landline and mobile, broadband, internet. We also have a partnership with Visa, and we have a card which can give people discounts of between 1% and 10% on a lot of high street outlets, plus over 2,000 online retailers. Using that card helps people to cut their bills down on average between 20 and 30%. And the methodology that we use is something I'll come on to, but we've got experience over 19 years and know the sort of results that the methodology we'll be using actually generates. One of the, I suppose, the USPs that we have, we're an energy company, utility company, but we actually fit all of our customers' properties out with the latest LED lights. So, they've got a lifetime guarantee. They don't have to buy another bulb again. And of course, we're cutting down potentially up to 13% on their electricity bill. So there's an energy company that's actually cutting down bills, Our structure, it basically is made up of legs, different legs, different people, leaders in those legs, but extends down 27 levels. So again, we know about, duplication, how that's actually worked. We've had company cars and got company cars at the moment. We've had company holidays, cruises, and to different locations. We've had some share options, and with my background in finance and how the company's progressed, I've actually bought some shares as well. So, kind of belief in the company, to do that. Using the same methodology, one thing the company's gone from strength to strength, and again, it's what we intend to use here, is developing different techniques and systems, because different people like doing different sorts of things to grow their business. And where those systems are duplicable, it means that people can adapt what they do to those systems to actually, make the most of it. So, we try and find out what different, strengths people have and what they like doing, and then try and focus them to help them work with the things that they like doing. Sometimes, in fact, a lot of the time, to get out of the comfort zone helps the growth element. So again, we try and do that as well. So that's a bit about me and my background. So hopefully that tells you a bit more about me.
Awesome. So our members are new to, some of them are brand new to networking, have never networked before. Coming into 100 Coffees is kind of teaching them how to get out of that comfort zone and network and talk about their business and share and get to know people, build relationships. So I'm excited because you are all about educating too. Like, it's not just here's our platform, find a group and plug in. You're all about, let us guide you and help you figure out how to grow your business. Or if you don't have a business, we can help you with that too. And a lot of our members come in and they're like, I want a business. I don't even know what my business is. And then I don't know how to talk to people about it. So tell us a bit about how you started with the business network, what that is, and how our members can plug into that.
Okay, I mean, probably going back about 8 years, we've got a large team of we call them distributors over here, and they're all from all different backgrounds. I've got just a few success stories from different people that we've got, but I decided to do some research to try and find out, how people could grow their business. And what started to come back as answers is obviously the internet has gone from strength to strength to strength, and so has the ages of the people using the internet. I mean, now, I don't know, you see children of 10 years old on smartphones surfing the net, and it's just gone that way. But by the same token, you've now got people in their 70s that use the internet to do lots of different things. In fact, an example, my father at the age of, he was 83 when I think he was about 77. He had his first computer at the age of 77, and he used to sit in his chair, and I set him up with Google Maps and showed him how to use it. And although he never went on holiday very often, he'd be going all over the place on Google Maps. And with Google Maps, as you probably know, there are people that take photographs and put their photographs on, so you can click on it. And although you haven't been to the Grand Canyon, you can probably see, 30 or 40 people. They're all taking different photographs. So you can get to see all around the world. And he was in his late 70s. So again, the research that I did with the distributors, what came back was really, are there any ways that we can use the internet, to grow our business? And our business is just in the UK, but it's right across the UK, from Land's End to John O'Groats, which are the sort of 2 points that people mention in the UK. And they're probably about, 550 miles apart. But because our company have got what they call a College of Excellence, where they've got 47 training centres across the country, it means that even though you might be right on the south coast, if you could actually find someone in the north of Scotland, by using the internet, it would allow you then to grow your business and plug them into systems. So with that in mind, I started to do some research, and I've picked up a lot of information, which again, over time, we'll get to pass on to people, etc. And it's allowed me to build as you may have seen, what we call a gift vault, and the gift vault's got about 390 assets in it, different assets in 54 different classes that again can help people doing different things with their business. Now, at the same time, my wife Pam, she's actually in her 6th year with an organisation called BNI, Business Networking International, and basically over the time, about 40% of our business has actually come from business networking. So putting the two together seemed a great idea, because what we found with our business is a lot of people, they say, this looks great, but where do I get my customers and where do I get my distributors? Now, our company, although they've been going 23 years, they've only got just under 2% of the UK market. So after 23 years, 2%, they're targeting for between 10 and 12. So again, there's lots and lots and lots of potential, but it's how, do they get those clients and those distributors? Again, because we got 40% from business networking, it seemed right to look at that as a particular avenue. Now, BNI, and again, excuse me here if people know about BNI, but BNI has been going since 1985. So as an organisation, they're very well established. They've got about 260,000 members, and they meet in groups. They call them chapters, and these groups are normally held in a hotel or a restaurant. And the cost for BNI, because you have to pay to be a member and you also have to buy a meal, at these meetings, the cost is between £1,300 and £1,500 in the UK. So I don't know, I guess maybe $1,800, $2,000 a year, in terms of being a member. So there is a turnover with BNI. It does work. I mean, in the last 12 months, they've generated $16 billion of business for its members, because of the way it works. So it does work, but there are some disadvantages and things like the cost. Not everybody can afford $2,000 a year just to spend on a strategy to grow their business. Obviously, depending on where you are, we're about 10 miles away from the meeting that my wife goes to, but there are people that travel 44 miles to get to that meeting. And I guess in America, the distances could be far greater, and in Canada. So there's the travel. You then got the time away from your business, because obviously with my wife, she goes out at 6 o'clock in the morning and gets back about 10:30 to 11 o'clock. So it's 4 to 5 hours away, from the business. And of course, that's to meet one set of connections, which are the connections in that particular meeting. The methodology they've got is very good, but it does put an amount of pressure on people, because if you can't turn up, you have to provide what they call a substitute, which is, again, I've experienced being a member of BNI as a substitute as well as being a member at one point. And some people, they don't get on with, with the pressure of that, really. So she has seen people leave and has got connections and kept connections with people that have left. And I did a lot of research about them, saying what the PIP Business Network was going to be. In other words, if you could actually network and do the same thing as you do in actual meetings, where you can actually meet other people in terms of connecting with them, you can advertise your business, you can promote your business, promote your special offers, you can present your business to a live audience. Then obviously, if you're able to do that, but you're able to do it in an online situation, just like we're doing now, where you can plug in, do your networking, do your presenting, etc., on a rota basis, make the connections through the private connections, and then obviously develop those after the meeting. And as soon as you log out, you're at your desk and ready to go. Then a lot of people say, well, yeah, that sounds really efficient and quick. And obviously, if you're looking at, things like green issues at the moment, or in fact, the coronavirus that's, there's a lot of news about at the moment. There was an article this morning, I think on LinkedIn, just about how there's a lot of people looking at working remotely because of things like that. So it tends to play into, to those hands. So one of the things, and again, you mentioned, Angela, about making the most of it. Again, my wife, again, is going to be doing some training for members, because there is a way to get the most from business networking and to create the referrals that you actually get for everybody. So it's getting to know, like, and trust people in one-on-one connections, which then leads to people keeping their eyes and ears open. So as they go about their work, they're keeping their eyes and ears open for opportunities. So if someone says, well, you know, I'm looking for a health and wellness coach, I say, got just the person for you. And then obviously at the next meeting, they can actually pass that referral on. And when that person then contacts the prospect, it's almost pre-sold, because again, it's coming from a know, liked and trusted source. So you're going into a warm environment, and that works very well, and obviously increases sales. So referrals are, you know, a very big issue. I mentioned about the flexibility and the efficiency of it. And that's really how, you know, I came to get connected with Rodney, because one of the tools that we have, and we've now got the later version, but the webinar conference facility was actually, that's what I was looking to use, involved in, that's how we present our meetings in, you know, in the PIP Business Network. So when I saw all the products that they have, and I think with anything that is subscription based, you have to confirm to people there's a value in it. They're actually getting a value from what they're paying for, and it's actually improving their circumstances. And all these products that, again, that we have are really linked to improving efficiency and conversion and sales and engagement, and giving a differentiation point between yourself and the competition to, again, enhance and grow your business. So that's how, you know, I came to be connected, you know, with Rodney, basically. And of course, as I'll touch on, you know, regarding the opportunity, there's a way that those tools, you can get them free, which again, if you can be improving your business without any cost, fantastic, you know. And of course, I think today, it's like anybody. I mean, there is so much competition that if you can make yourself different in some way, shape or form with some USPs, it's going to help with the performance of your business to actually take it, you know, to the next level. So if we can help to, you know, to attract new clients, to engage with them, and obviously to close and convert those clients, you know, those prospects into clients, it's going to obviously increase, you know, the profitability of everybody's business. Just something I read today, actually, but there's a survey that was run by FactWorks, an organisation, again, in the UK. They did a survey on 537 businesses and found that 79% of the people surveyed agreed the biggest challenge for, you know, for those businesses were attracting customers, was to find new customers. So obviously what the PIP Business Network is about is helping people grow and develop their business and find, you know, find new customers.
Awesome. So you kind of touched on, you have a partnership with Rodney, who owns PIP business, and there's a business network, and then there's a suite of products that that group controllers, which we're going to talk about in a minute, actually use the products to run the business network. So do you want to talk a little bit about, since we mentioned Rodney, even though he's not here, do we want to talk a little bit about all the awesome stuff that Rodney has created and that is available to people to use in their business, as well as it operates the platform that we're going to use?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a suite of products, and when I first got connected with Rodney, and I don't want to get too technical with this, but the products used Flash, and Flash is being phased out, and to use it with every type of device, and by that we're talking PCs, Macs, laptops, tablets, smartphones, iPhones, etc., iPads. You have to download some additional software to actually make the thing work. So, as I say, when I first connected with Rodney, they were Flash-based products. They've actually been redeveloped now, and we have 4 products, and there's 2 that are still to be developed, and some more in the background to come on stream. Again, all in line with working with businesses to help them grow and develop, etc. So the way I connected with Rodney, as I say, going back to our business and what we found over the last 19 years, the burning question that we try and answer before people ask us is, you know, how do I find my customers and how do I find my distributors? So because our products are business related, you know, for any type of business, effectively, if you're going to fish for prospects, it's a case of fishing in the right pond. So there's no better pond to fish in than a pond filled with business people. Hence, one of the systems, again, going back to duplicate the processes we have here, one of the systems is the PIP Business Network for finding prospects, you know, for the business, but also to use it to grow your own business via, you know, the being involved in groups, etc. So that's how the connection came about, and working with Rodney with the products, and obviously providing systems, duplicable systems for people to use. Now, because the products are cloud-based, literally the marketplace that we have is anywhere in the world that has an internet connection. So consequently, if we're talking about, you know, people in Australia, people in Canada, people in Mexico, people in India, people in Italy, Germany, you name it, if they've got an internet connection, then again, we can look at opening rooms there. Language isn't a barrier, because all the rooms, all the groups will be running local language. So consequently, you know, if you've got a group in Mumbai in India, the controller for Mumbai would be talking in Gujarati or Punjabi, etc. And all the presentations, if people are putting up documents, I can't write in Indian, but I mean, obviously the documents that the people are presenting from would all be in the local language. So that's the object of the exercise. It's one of the systems to help grow business, but also very much as a tool to grow people's own business. So someone, for instance, and I'll pick Amway as a company here, because probably everybody's heard of Amway as a network marketing company, but someone, if they were in Amway, could be a group controller, and at that meeting, they could actually be presenting Amway as the business. You know, that's what they represent. But if they follow the methodology that's set out in the controller manual, they will anyway talk about the products and how they can influence and help a business, talk about the platform and how that can help and grow a business, and talk about the commissions that can be generated. And, you know, we do know there's a lot of people at networking meetings that, you know, aren't doing, because competition's tough out there, aren't doing as well. So if there's an opportunity to get a set of tools which can help their business, also a platform, which means they can start connecting further afield or with more people, and they can generate some income at the same time. We know, as I say, our conversion rates has been, because we're transparent in telling people what our products do and how we get paid. Initially, when we joined 19 years ago, the conversion was for every 10 customers, there would be one distributor amongst those 10 customers. So, you know, we tell people, you know, about the products and about how we worked. And if you did that right, whether it's the person you're talking to, or whether it's their brother, sister, aunt, uncle, spouse, whatever, there would be a distributor. Now, over the term, as they've grown and improved the techniques and had more techniques, that ratio now is 1.7 in 10. Or for every 100 customers, there are 17 distributors. So these PIP groups, for instance, which can go up to 50 different businesses in a group, potentially from one group, just working on the 1 in 10, that in itself could generate 5 PIP members from one group. And as I'll touch on the actual business itself, it's worked on a matrix basis. That's basically everyone's got 3 spots. So 5 not only fills 3, but also has another 2, which helps other people, because those people have to be placed. So that sort of touches on that. Let me just see if I've got anything else written. Yeah, that's really what I put in terms of the notes I've got regarding that particular question.
Okay, so we got involved with, so to connect back into how we got involved with you. So one of our members has been using the PIP products, so which is a webinar system, and there's some awesome other systems, video, email, and different things that Rodney thinks in software systems like Sandy thinks in business plans. So if you're like, I wish my computer would do this, Rodney's like, I can do that for you. Hold on, 5 minutes. We got this done. So it's amazing how his brain works. But so we got involved because we live on Zoom and we do a lot of, we're coffees. We coffee via video chat. But our members have been struggling with, well, this is great that you have this group and we can talk to people like in the feed, but I need a meeting. I need a place to present and educate about my business, get referrals, get leads, branch out of my own city without having to travel every week to go. I want to grow Canada and I live in California. How do I do that? I can't fly to Canada and attend a networking meeting. How do I do that? So when this was introduced to us as a product, I was like, oh, wow. So I use these products anyway. This is actually an additional revenue stream for my family, which made me excited. And then we heard, well, wait a minute, there's a networking piece to this. And I went, oh, wow, we could actually hold virtual networking groups. This is what all of my friends in coffee world have been wanting. This is a perfect marriage. So we're excited because now we have a platform that can organically grow wherever people want to grow, whether it's their hometown, like we have some Vegas event groups forming. I have a group in Modesto. There's a group in Phoenix because I travel to Phoenix quite a lot. So we will be organically opening groups wherever our members want to coffee. And I love that your system allows for the creation of groups. So our coffee sisters can have a coffee themed virtual place to hang out, but they also will have access to any other group that's formed around the world. And there's all kinds of groups out there. There's some that are exclusive, so you can be the only plumber there. There's some that are all women groups like ours. There could be all kinds of groups, which leads me to a conversation I was having with Heather before you all popped in this morning, because Heather does something very interesting. And she was talking about, well, would this work for my group? So I'm gonna mute myself and let Heather explain kind of her vision, and then I'll let Paul answer how that would work on this system.
Yeah, so basically I also, I'm the event coordinator for a paranormal group here in Vegas, and we do lectures, training events, and stuff like that we're looking to expand and do more than just locally, because our team has expanded to 6 divisions nationwide, and we hope to be in all 50 states in the next 5 years.
Right, okay. Some important points, because I can't tell you when, but the MLM it's going to be launching very shortly, okay? And when it does, for one of the tools, that the webinar conference room, you're actually going to get 5 different rooms, okay? Which means you can brand them. So again, you know, you can have one totally for 100 coffees, for instance. You know, you could, so you haven't got to keep changing it and editing it with a different name. And I'm going to give you an example. My son, who's a national account manager, and he has to go to cover Scotland, and the sort of people that he has to call on, and it's involved with industrial engineering equipment. And I suppose, having discussed it with him, he's got his division 1. These are the people that buy a lot of stuff, and he's got a very good relationship and has to be there fairly regularly. Then he's got his division 2, and these are people that buy the odd thing, not a great deal, and there's potential there. And then he's got his division 3, and these people haven't bought anything. He's got about 740 outlets to call on, which physically he can't. So again, he's using the webinar conference facility, in that the people that in division 1 that buy a lot of stuff, he's going to go and travel to and do that on a regular basis because it's worth his time. The people in, you know, divisions 2 and 3, those are the ones where he can actually have meetings online in his conference room. So just like we're doing now, you know, because it's difficult for him to actually say, right, I need your staff together, you know, for half an hour. Sometimes that would shut the place down and stop them from working. So again, it allows him using one-to-one meetings, and again, because of the development of business networking, to get the most from it, make the connection, and then he's developing the one-to-one relationship. And of course, you know, in terms of if someone's 300 miles away, at least, in fact, I'm just trying to think how far away you guys are, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 miles away. But obviously, you know, it gives you the flexibility and allows you to be able to connect with people. So, you know, if you have got an organization that's spread, then yes, it's a fantastic tool to be able to hold group meetings. Again, the same thing can happen. Everybody can link in, and if their device has a camera and a microphone, then again, they can link in, they can be live on camera. In fact, just as an example on this, because there's one of the guys that's actually joined us, he's in BNI and he's quite shy. And when he gets up to do his presentation that he has to do, he just reads from a book, and he's not very charismatic because he's quite shy about the whole thing. But doing his presentation in an online webinar, he's a totally different person, because he's removed from being up in front of people and can talk, and you tend to get the real personality showing through because he's not being inhibited in any way, you know. So yeah, the whole platform is set up to give us potential to literally spread out worldwide. I mean, you know, if you've got a contact in Sydney, Australia, there's no one there yet. So someone that wanted to open up groups there has got first bite of the cherry to open up and then obviously develop Australia. And I mean, you're talking vast distances between townships there. So yeah, Heather, you know, it can be used for, you know, for the organisation, not to set up a location, etc. You know, to actually do it. Having 5 different rooms, if someone did have 2 or 3 businesses, then again, they'll be able to have, once they're a PIP member, they'll be able to have a webinar conference room and just set it up for that business. So when they get giving the link out, and the links that you can give out, you can either have a public room where any, you know, providing people know the time and the date of the meeting, they can just log in, or you can have it password protected, whereby you give all the people that you know are coming the password, or you can have a registration process, which actually then builds a list, and you know the people that have actually registered. So you've got a different registration technique that you can use based on the membership. But certainly, Heather, you know, yeah, if there's a nationwide organisation, I mean, you can set up for social groups. You know, you could have people all of different types, etc. You know, all the surveyors or solicitors wanting to form a group, or, you know, people that are into foreign exchange trading or whatever. So it's got multi purposes, and because obviously we can introduce them to what we're part of, it becomes a business opportunity that they can look at to work online from home in their own time with proven methodology. And there's a lot of people looking for that opportunity, you know. Did that answer the question? Great.
Yes.
Okay.
I love that. So it's not adding to people's plate. That's what I love. I'm all about not adding. We want to enhance what we're already doing and be more effective. So if I'm already paying for software to have meetings, why not tell people, hey, well, if you want to sign up under my link, then I make a little bit off of you also having software that you're already going to buy, right? And it works for your meetings. And hey, did you want to network? Because I also have, you can use this to network and plug in around the world. And so there's so many, and it's not asking them to do anything that they wouldn't already be doing and can make money in by just participating, or be socializing and educating each other on topics like Heather's doing as well, is gathering people with a common interest and educating, or like Devra does educating, and so she could use the platform for teaching and sharing and gathering her community together, right?
Yep.
So it can be used for so many, my brain just explodes every time I talk to you. I think,
Yeah.
oh my goodness, this could be so awesome for so many things. So, and so I want our members to know, it's not just about connecting with your fellow coffee members. It's opening literally the world from whatever device you want to open it, and you can connect with anyone and do business or learn something or teach something. So there's so many. I am going to see, are there any questions, Deborah?
I was just going to say, it's really about expanding your network and your influence, right?
Yeah.
And the impact that you have, because it kind of really opens us up to the whole world.
Well, yeah, it does. I mean, you know, our business, the MLM that we've been in, is just in the UK. But I know, you know, over the years, we've come across and other network marketing businesses that are working in 25 countries or 30 countries, you know, and for them to actually then, you know, have a presence and start to form a base and use the tools. I mean, for instance, the webinar room for training, you know, I mean, it's great to put on presentations, and then, as you say, you can involve people doing certain types of presentations or certain parts, and that can develop their skills. You know, they start to get confidence, because it's not like standing up in front of a room where that can be a bit daunting, because you're kind of remote. I'll have a bash at this, and they do. They can stand up, you know, and you can have a laugh with people, and again, you can share notes on there, you can share a video on there. So the potential is just, you know, it's just used. And I think, as Rodney says on, you know, on his webinar, we're about, the tools we've got are about helping other people with their business, whatever that business is. But by the same token, with the platform, with the tools, you know, you can actually generate some additional income, which, you know, can obviously be useful for a lot of different reasons. I mean, the systems that are set up, the free training course, etc., through the academy. You know, I've took a course on chatbots to link it to chatbots to do some heavy lifting, etc., which can help from a recruitment process. But again, you can use that to actually introduce people who are looking to reskill. You know, someone's made redundant or lost a job, or a mum wanting to work from home, flexible hours, because the business network is global. You know, the example I quote, if you've got a lady in the UK that can work from 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night when her husband gets home, she could be looking to run a couple of rooms in New York, because 7 o'clock at night is 2 o'clock in the afternoon in New York. Or 8 hours, so it's 11 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles or Vancouver, or it's 6 o'clock in the morning in Sydney, Australia. So the opportunities are just immense for flexibility, and of course it can all be done from home, you know, with your PC or laptop, using your camera and your mic, you know. And the training course, which again I've set up as one of the systems, you're giving someone something of value, so they can actually go through the 9 modules in the course, cover the questions at the end, and then do the demonstration in the webinar room, which gives them the confidence. And of course, when they first register, the person that sent them to the link gets the message back to say, your prospect, you know, Amanda Smith has registered, which means that person can then contact Amanda Smith. Hi, Amanda, glad you registered. You're going to get a lot of enjoyment and information from the course. If you need any help, I'm here. So suddenly you start to build this relationship and obviously show support and help. So of course, as they go through the course, you might contact them a couple of times, and then they get to the end, they do the questions, they do their examination, you know, the presentation on the webinar room. They then get their certificate, and they've got the opportunity to start, again, an online business, which they now know about. You know, they've experienced it. They see the room. They've demonstrated they can work the room. They've had you contacting them 2 or 3 times while they've been going through the course, so they know they've got some support, etc. So it gets them over that hurdle. Yeah, I could do this. I'll give this a go. So again, that's, you know, just another technique that's there to help people with a very passive way of prospecting for people, offering them help. You know, some will take it up, some won't, but you know, it's there. So the opportunities, yeah, are huge.
Awesome. Any questions from our leadership team, or comments, or no?
I hadn't thought about the green issues, which is beautiful. And the things that protect you from getting everybody's illnesses. I hadn't thought about those as selling point.
Well, I must admit, up till today, until I read the coronavirus article, I hadn't either really, but it was just, in fact, I think those poor people on that ship. I mean, there's a cruise ship, isn't there, in Japan that's been stationed, and there's 100 and odd people there are quarantined. Now, it's not too bad if you're in an outside cabin where you can actually open the window and look out, but they're interviewing some people who've got an inside cabin, and some of those cabins aren't that big, and I think they're like 10 days now. It's like being in a prison, really. So, this aspect of, what it can do, again, helping people work remotely, it's got massive benefits.
Definitely.
And many people work from home. In our members, as I'm speaking and having coffee, there's a common theme with, well, I have kids, I can't leave my house and do networking, or I have health issues, and so I don't know how I'm going to feel one moment to the next if I can commit to every single week or every other week being present and have the energy and have the health to do that. But I could open up my phone or laptop and not even be on camera if I don't want to be, and I can share a one sheet of information and talk about my company without even having to be on camera. And I can use the chat feature to set up coffees and send people my information. So it just opens up so many opportunities for our members and for anyone who is trying to figure out how to have a viable business or social outlet or something, and they're limited to health restrictions or location or lifestyle or season of life or whatever that may be. So
I was just going to say, my wife intends to, we're going to do some training sessions, and certainly from the networking side. I mean, she's had a number of different positions within the BNI groups, etc. So she can pass on her information and just tips and techniques, that the people can use, but in online networking to make sure, that they can get the most from it for whatever business that they're actually involved in. So, there's going to be training sessions as well in different aspects to give people hopefully more value, etc., and give them ideas and tips on what they can do,
Awesome. Well, we're very excited. Do we want to give the link that if people are interested in learning about networking and how to potentially be a group controller, do we want to share that link today?
Yeah. Right. No, I'm not too sure how you do it on here, actually. I mean,
we could just tell them and then we'll post it in the comments.
Well, the website, the actual landing page for it, it's www.itsrightnow, all one word, no space, .net. So that's itsrightnow.net. Now that takes people to a landing page, which there's a little figure of some people at a desk, and it asks some questions, and the question really are all about, what we're about. And of course, we're looking for people that want to be working for themselves and develop it. But I think there's 4 questions, and when they get to the end, to get the course, they actually have to answer who is the person that gave them the link. So, they say Deborah Betts, and that would then initiate the sending of the course. So they then get the link, which they can download the course. And then Deborah would get a message to say your prospect, Heather Landon, has actually registered for the course. So Heather then could Deborah could contact Heather and actually say, great, I think you're going to enjoy the course, Heather. There's a lot of information there. I'm here to help. If you need any help, then give me a call and I'll speak to you shortly. So again, Heather would then start the course, and maybe a couple of days later, Deborah would contact and create this relationship. So, when Heather gets to the end of the course and does the questions just to confirm she's got the understanding of the different modules, and then we'd arrange for a webinar demonstration. And I think in the manual it said, well, you can either do your own business, and we've got a standard presentation for that, which is just a single page with pictures on and words about your own business. Or you could do it on a location, a holiday, a pet, favorite film, favorite meal, restaurant, whatever, you know, just to get his habit of talking to people who haven't got a business. But again, it's very, you know, very low key, very informative. Again, you know, helping people with that. And then once they've passed that, then they get a certificate which highlights the content of the course. It's personalized, and they'll have the opportunity, and it will give Deborah the opportunity again, say, you know, well done, Heather. You know, it's a fantastic business opportunity. You know about it now. You know how we work. The platform's global. We use that webinar room, which you've actually used. And it gives people the confidence to say, yeah, you know, I think I can actually do that. And of course, you know, that person then joins, you know, under Deborah. So that's one technique that people can use. It's very passive, and it's helpful because it's giving people more training and information on something that can either help develop a business or give them a business, you know.
Awesome. I love that. Well, so anyone, even if you just want to learn more about how to network, that is a huge chunk of resources. Go to that website, and you can even just put in 100 coffees if you're not sure who we are and you want to be tied back to this group, and the leadership team here will figure it out from there. And but even if you just are new to networking and are just looking for like some really awesome tips and nuggets of information on how to grow your business, that's a really great resource. And worst case scenario, you follow it through, you take the information, you're really well educated, and you go about your day.
Yeah.
So that's the worst case scenario, right? Best case scenario, you get really excited and you want to figure out more about what we're doing, whether it's with 100 Coffees or for something else you want to branch out and do or learn or share. So we're just all about helping people get to whatever they're supposed to be doing in life.
I mean,
that's with us or not.
just so people know, the website for the business network is www.PIP, that's PIP, businessnetwork.com. And again, log on. Every business can have a free entry anyway, which again can be found by search engines. So that could generate, you know, businesses joining. So one of the ways, again, to attract businesses is we just let them know you can have a free business entry, which doesn't cost you anything. It takes you 30 seconds to fill out your details. It's going to be on a website which can be found by search engines. So it may get some people to you that you didn't otherwise get at no cost. And of course, once they then are in, the people that the groups that they join can actually contact them. So, well, these are the upgrades available if you want to be in 1 room, 3 rooms, or 5 rooms. It's there. There's various tabs across the top. Where it says find a group, you can click on that and it goes from satellite level. You can pick your continent, so it could be North America, it could be South America, it could be Europe, it could be Australasia. And again, you can zoom in literally down to street level, which is where we put the groups. When we come to allocate the groups and the group locations, we can go down to street level. So have a look around the site. There's a videos tab, and on the videos tab, there are 5 short videos. They're between 2 to 3 minutes long that again explain more about the network and how we work and the various tools, etc. And then any questions, obviously if you get back to Angela or get back to me, my contact details are on the website anyway, and you've obviously got Angela's contact details. Only too glad to answer any questions and you know, help out as best I can.
Awesome. So this week, when we premiere this video and share with our coffee group, we are actually holding demo meetings. So if you want to come in and see what it looks like, what is it the format, and how do you present? We'll have some people presenting their businesses so that you can kind of see. We'll have the leaders presenting and what does it look like? What do you need? How do you interact? How do you move around? So we will be doing that for the whole 3rd week of our challenge. So we invite you to come in, and you do need to yeah, come in and visit with us. So you'll need to RSVP to get all the links and all of that to get in and actually present or experience it. And in the meantime, visit the website and get your free entry. Put your business out there. It's just another way to be found, right, online. So so no stress. Just come in and see what we're all about, and let us meet you. Any parting thoughts from leadership or anyone? No? Awesome.
I would just encourage people that if they're remotely interested in growing their business, just to hang out and check it out, because I mean, I think it's an incredible opportunity.
Thanks, Deborah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. And we hope to see you on our meetings this week and beyond. Thank you, everyone.
That's great. Thank you very much.